Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about a few of my dates. Just so you guys know, some of these dates already happened many years ago. They just left a very memorable experience, and I just thought I'd share it because some of these experiences are still relatable. And I want to say that you might still meet a lot of people sort of like that. So I just figure maybe you'll find it interesting. And this is for the men that went on dates with me. I mean, I figure I've been on a lot of one day dates, and obviously that didn't work for me. I wasn't the one for them, too. They probably noticed that, too, and they probably have their own story. My story tends to be more obviously from my perspective, and I hope they don't mind that I'm sharing it. I will never mention names. That's exactly why I'm giving them nicknames. And, well, I hope everybody gets a little experience of this. I'm pretty sure they learned something. I learned something. And I hope you guys, whomever watches this, learn something too. I'm really hoping that at the end of every story, you guys could take something with you and learn from my kind of sort of negative experiences. But I mean, I like to make it positive, and I like to grow and really reflect on everything that happened. So I try and give the moral to every story, and hopefully it'll help someone. And at least, if not, keeps you entertained, you know? So, just so you know, that's what I've been talking, that's what I will be addressing in future videos, okay? So, hope you guys enjoy my channel. I hope you guys like my content, and I hope you guys subscribe. If you have any other suggestions, I'm open, so just write them down on the commentaries, and I will read them, and perhaps they give me a little more insight on what other things I could add into my channel. So this is the story of my date with Mr. Perverted Gentleman. So I've been meeting all these men online, okay? And as a safety precaution, I found out through one of my friends, he's a guy friend, and he's a player, but he actually told me about this one application, and that's from Google, that how to get a new number. I'm only doing that for safety precautions. I'm a single parent. The last thing I want to do is find some kind of psycho online that's going to come and stalk me at my house, So, and all my real number is connected to all my social media. So I don't want people to really find out where I live and, everything about me. So that's why I actually considered getting that number. It is for free. So, just putting that out there. If you ladies want, or guys, whenever you want to be safe, I don't recommend it to be I'm not recommending that to be a player, but for me, I have my reason, that's my main reason, is to keep my family safe. So I normally give them that number because it's easier to connect and chat, because a lot of times on the applications, you guys don't get a notification. So you could have just a few sentences and it takes forever to answer, and I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. So back to this guy. So I give him my number. We start chatting, and we chat like that for a few days, and then one of those days he's like, hey, I want to take you some coffee. And I'm like, you know what? He sounds like a nice guy. We've been talking. Sounds cool. Yeah, for sure. So I did give him my address. I'm here with my mom and my son, so I felt pretty safe. But I didn't invite him to my house. We kind of hung out around the house. and we had coffee, and we were just chatting it up. And towards the end of the night, he told me that he liked to walk his dog, and he invited me, like, maybe we could hang out one day and walk his dog. It just so happens that the next day I had already previous engagements, so I couldn't meet him, but they canceled. So I was able to meet him, and I called him up, right? When I called, I told him, hey, are you already walking your dog? And he's like, no, not yet. And I say, hey, my schedule cleared up. Hey, do you want to meet up? And he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. So he's like, just give me like half hour and whatever. So we ended up meeting. Oh, I did forget. The night when we did meet up for coffee, we talked about our lives, whatever. He did kind of try to get close afterwards to give me a kiss. And I kind of just like, we just met. But I still liked him, and I thought he was pretty chill, and I was like, okay. But like, maybe he's just testing the waters, and seeing how far I let him go. But I'm like, I don't like to kiss on the first date. And, and I want a desire to kiss you. I don't know, guys, sometimes they just ready to kiss you, and I'm like, no, I don't know. I need to know you better, so. But to each his own. I don't judge. So we end up making plans to meet up. We meet up. We go to a park. He walks his dog around a park, whatever. Not even that far from here. But he is such a gentleman. Like, throughout all that time, he's like, oh, careful, because there's so many gophers, like holes, and he's like, be careful, don't step there. And he's like moving me around, and just be careful, and you want me to light up, he even offered to put the flashlight on his phone so I would see all the holes. I'm like, no, I'm fine, but I kind of like that attention. I think any woman likes a man to be attentive and caring and whatever. So we end up walking the dog, and then he tells me, hey, do you feel like coffee? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's kind of chilly. I would love some, So we go drop off the dog, and we go and get some coffee. And I'm the one driving, so he's in my car, right? So then we get the coffee, we go and stop, and he's like, oh, let's park right here. And we end up parking right in front of like 7-Eleven or something. And he's like, there's some tacos, street tacos on the side. And I'm not picky, And he's like, are you hungry? You want some tacos? I'm like, yeah, for sure. So we get off and just keep walking towards the tacos. He goes like this, and he gets my hand, right? So we're walking, and out of nowhere, he goes, hey, could I grab your butt? And I was like, what? Yeah, that was exactly my look. Like, this is a guy that's being all a gentleman, super nice, super thoughtful, and out of nowhere, he just wants to grab my butt. And I'm like, no, what? Why? And he goes, what's the difference? I'm already holding your hand. What the difference? My hands are everywhere. My butt isn't. And he's like, what would you do if I grabbed you? And I said, I'll hit you. And he's like, really? Like, you want to find out? And I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, you don't know what's the difference between the hands and the butt. You need a freaking anatomy physiology test. Because what's the difference? Yeah, different body parts, different places. Needless to say, it was the weirdest, because we were still walking towards and getting the tacos. I didn't know whether I should just like leave them there, which maybe that's what I should have done. But he was still being a gentleman. Like, it's so weird. I've never met a guy like that. So anyways, We did walk towards the tacos and we ate. We got them. I was very. Now I didn't trust him. Like, I couldn't trust him. I'm like, I was thinking he's been looking at me. He's been trying to grab my butt. I mean, first of all, you don't have to ask a woman, could I grab your butt? If you're a real guy and a real man, he would seduce you, like, and he would wait for the right time. I mean, not that I was gonna go for it, but, if he would have been a little bit more, let me, I don't know, like, let me get to know you. Let me get there. I mean, go and pick up somebody else. I mean, I can't believe that they can't tell the difference. I mean, when you start talking to a person, I start judging them, or I analyze the person. Don't just assume. Don't just take it for granted that the person is gonna do that. Like, I like to get to know a person before I ask anything risque. And I don't know. Like, I have a feeling that many of these guys, especially on the dating websites, they're taking them like that. Like, that's the ticket to easy and quick sex, which isn't the case. I don't know if I'm speaking only from myself. I'm not one to sleep with a man the first time I meet him. I just can't. I have I don't know. It makes me kind of like if they're that quick to sleep with me, I wonder how many other women they slept with, and are they clean? It's too many. No, I can't. I just can't. It's not for me. Well, I like to believe that people like to take their time. I only because it's so unsafe, and STDs are out there like this. I like to get to know the person for the most part. Like, I'm not that easily persuaded into sleeping with somebody like so quick, or being with somebody that early. No. But I mean, I don't know. Is this is what's going on for most girls? I mean, is going on for you ladies? I have no idea. I mean, or are you more open to that? See, it makes me believe that a lot of these people use dating websites more as a hookup places, and I mean, to each his own. I'm not judging. I mean, it just doesn't work for me. But I do believe that people should take their time to get to know the person whom they're talking with, Like, if I don't know, to assess them and say, oh, okay, she would be the type to do this, or no, she wouldn't be the type. Before you say something like that, like, come on. To me, the fact that I didn't even let him kiss me on the first date should have told him a little bit, I don't know. That's just me. Yeah, at the end of the date, I mean, I still, we ate, whatever. It was a very awkward dinner. And then we went, we went back to my car and I dropped him off. He did send me a couple of texts later, and never saying sorry at all. I mean, he was not sorry at all. He did send me some sexual innuendos and texted me, some sexual innuendos. So obviously I blocked him, but I was like, I didn't know he was that perverted. He didn't seem like that. But again, ladies, you never know. Just be careful, be safe. See, and I'm glad that I never gave him my real number. I mean, but I mean, I did give him my address, but he never made it into the side of the house or nothing like that. I would never. But after that, I'm like, man, I really have to be careful. It's like, that's why I don't give any man my address nowadays. No one, because you never know. It could be a little crazy, nasty, perverted gentleman. So anyway, lady, If you guys had any kind of experience like this, just comment, follow for more, and if you have any other things that you'd like to add to this, I would appreciate it. So the moral of the story: do not judge a book by its cover. It could be a really pretty cover and it's all nasty shit inside. So, just giving you good ladies heads up, be careful. Be careful who you trust, and just because he seems nice, acts nice, doesn't mean he is. Too bad. He was actually kind of cute. And as I say, next.